1964 as an autonomous non-profit society. It was basically meant to train and handhold the public sector employees, the central public sector enterprises, which were very key after independence. They were very key institutions. So that was the prime purpose of this institute. So the focus of the institute right now is on management education, research, consultancy, and training. These are the 4 pillars of the institute. IPE is an AICT approved management institute, one major branch, which launched its first full-time PGDM program in 1995. Currently, there are 6 courses. There is one PGDM flagship program, the general program. Then we have PGDM HR, we have PGDM marketing, we have PGDM international business, we have PGDM banking and finance, we have PGDM business analytics, which it's a recently started course. So the institute has 1,100 students approximately at this point of time. We have 58 faculty members and there are 42 staff members. Just one slide about our management institute and the need for human values. So there are some thoughts that I would like to share with you. Harnessing values and ethics individually and practicing those values in real situations has been a challenge for businesses across the globe. So over the years, there has been a growing concern from the industry. We have a lot of interaction with the industry because there are young managers who go from here for addressing the management education institutions to prepare young managers with basic values and ethics, apart from the knowledge that we share on management with them. As a result, corporate ethics has taken center stage and is at the core of discussion in management and decision-making process. There are many surveys which internationally they are done, and business, politics, lobbyists, they're always found at the lowest rung of the chain on ethics and professions. We are always at the lowest point. So there is a great demand for ethical, including the ethical content in education. So when it comes to business education, ethics and values have become now an integral part of the curriculum, especially in the Indian context, because we teach our students as per the regulatory framework, we teach them. So it's a very, very critical component, ethics and values. Further, the introduction of UHV as a subject has strengthened the process because the way of looking at ethics and values has kind of a holistic way of looking at it has come, not just peripherally scratching. So it is actually very useful for us. So IP established the UHV cell. Actually, it was during COVID that Professor Srinivas Murthy actively started advising the faculty to get enrolled in the FDPs and start getting themselves trained. So, and a UHV cell was established in the year 2022 with a senior faculty member who is managing the cell as per the guidelines issued from AICTU. So the purpose of the cell is to create an enabling environment for nurturing human values, wherein teachers, students, staff, and all are oriented towards this content. And the faculty are encouraged by the director and motivated to attend UHV programs, FTP programs online from time to time. So as I told you, since 2021, during COVID lockdown, especially, there was a lot of trust that was given because we were operating from home and many of us, my colleagues, did the program then. So far, the faculty with UHV introductory FDP certification, there are around 35 out of the 58. Faculty with UHV 2 certification, there are 5, and the UHV 3 certification, only 1. Non-teaching staff with UHV introductory certification, there are 9 people. This has happened when we had the FDP and Sunil Bhaiya was here to take the course. Even the staff and the officers also participated in the program with a lot of enthusiasm. So SIP started since 3 years. We are doing the student induction program, not exactly in the framework that AICT has suggested, but definitely a lot of the content is there. So in the beginning of each year, the institute conducts an elaborate SIP for incoming students, wherein UHV content is shared with them, and I get an opportunity with other colleagues to discuss the UHV content with them. Sessions, what we have done is after the FDP that happened in May, sessions are allotted for faculty to discuss the UHV content with students in the evening. Their sessions get over after 3:45. They're free till 4:45 because our buses start at 4:45. So 3:45 to 4:45, 1 hour every day, Professor Murthy has asked the students, because there are different clubs they join. So if they want to come to discuss on the UHV sessions, they can do it. So voluntarily, 10 students, girls, especially from HR and from IB, they came to me after the SIP. They said, Madam, uh, we want you to discuss with us about the UHV content. So I took some guidance from Sunil Bhai, and I figured out how to start with them, and we have kind of made very interesting progress on that. So the institute also encourages the trained teachers to discuss UHV content with the students in the classroom also, and intertwine with the subjects being taught, because when I teach content like MOB, so we're talking about emotional quotient, we're talking about so many other things, ethical decision making and all that. So uh, at least I to definitely try to bring this content and share this with them. As a part of SIP, the students make in SIP there are many components which have been included. So the students make a visit to the nearby village, because we are located in a very far off place in Shamirpet. So we have a lake, we have a old age home, we have a village setting. There's a lot of village setting there. So students are encouraged to go and interact and spend time and do some community related work with them. So that's happening every year. And as a part of the corporate social responsibility, we have a subject on CSR, business ethics, and corporate governance. So as a part of that, every year we spend some time with Akshay Patra Kitchen. We take the students and then we spend some time there. And so they see how this aspect is being taken care of. And this is directly connected with sustainable goals, because education, health, um hunger, all these things are addressed with this one initiative, and how people are generously contributing in terms of material things that they have with others. So this is a very good example, and students really enjoy going there every year. And we too, every time we go, we have a new experience there. So just a little bit about the FDP that we did. 3-day introductory FDP was hosted for faculty, staff, and officers from 15th May to 17th May. Dr. Sunil Kumarji was allotted as a resource person from AICT. And the number of registrations we received for the program was 60. And actually the people who numbers which participated was 46. In order to ensure smooth functioning of critical departments at the institute, Professor Srinivas Murthy thought he should develop, he should be able to bring the faculty together and develop healthy and sustainable human relations. So he made an effort to involve secretarial staff and non-teaching staff also, because most of the time they are working with the faculty, and then they also felt very happy. They thought this was the first time when they could actually join a program along with faculty sitting with them. They felt very good. So admissions department, placements department, finance department, general administration departments, all these people also joined. And it was a very interesting, very well done program. And to our satisfaction, the members participated, and many of them got certificated also with a lot of enthusiasm. And very interestingly, our IP community WhatsApp, they have named Kutumbam. they say IP family. So it's very nice to see that the flow is good. Uh, Actually, in the institute, they have given lot of thrust to a couple of things. One is the building itself. There's a lot of greenery. The environment is pollution free, and this is very good feeling when you go inside. The campus is very green, and the building is also constructed in a with all sustainable things that have been engineering methods that have been adopted. Solar panels, water treatment plant, zero wastage, all everything is taken care of. So the whole environment has been kind of prepared so well. And the students, teachers, staff, all of them participate in the upkeep of the campus. Students spend a lot of time to keep it clean because they stay there. It's a residential campus, and there's a lot of rich flora and fauna also, and lots of snakes also sometimes, which are moving around in the campus. So, and lot of importance that in our institute is given to physical activity for students to unwind and energize themselves. We have a considerably big campus, and the sports facilities are very good. There are indoor sports facilities, outdoor sports facilities. So there are badminton courts, then table tennis court, and then a very beautifully planned. And students, in fact, many of the faculty members, young faculty members, in fact, many of the faculty members of my age group also go and enjoy. Uh, I am a bit lazy, I don't do that, but all of them go, they play from 3:45 to 4:45, and they feel so good and energized and go back home. Students use it very, very happily. There's a beautiful cricket ground, basketball court is there with lighting standards. I think there is some FIBA rules, which according to that they have made it. Volleyball courts and shuttle courts, all of them are there, which encourages our students to make use of that. They are very happily making use of that. So there's a lot of trust. Our board members have taken personal interest in building all these things. Uh, they think it is very important. So just some pictures I wanted to show you. What is the importance of teaching human values? On that, I would like to share some thoughts of Professor Murthy. The students of today occupy important positions in the corporate world and become responsible citizens. So the human values imbibed by them will help them to live by the values in their own personal lives and in the corporate life. So it is very essential. An individual with good human values will always be an asset, asset to the organization and the nation. And value education helps the students to see the importance of following ethical business decisions instead of only concentrating on profits. Nowadays, the the focus has shifted from profits, and there are three P's that are important when we talk to them. So, apart from profit, people and planet are very, very important, and those values are imbibed right in the campus and as a part of their academic process also. And way forward, as a preliminary step, at IPE, most of the faculty members are trained in the basic course. So some kind of a preparatory work has been done. The faculty and staff are aware of the importance of human values, which is the faculty have actually seen the importance. They are seeing the benefits they have in their personal and professional lives. Now the students are also, as a part of the SIP, they're getting oriented on a UHV content. But there is the next step, sir was, I think, thinking that slowly the course has to be also introduced, the three credit course. That maybe in the future he might be thinking of doing it. And a very regular way of imparting this content to the students has to be designed. What we are doing is we have management development programs that we do for public sector employees, for scientists, and for many different people we do it. So we are including values and ethics. In fact, I do one program sponsored by DST every year on accountability and responsiveness in scientific institutions. So there, after I got to know about UHV, I shared with them, and many of the scientists feel it's so important, and they say, yes, tell us, we will, use it for our children, we'll get them enrolled, we will ourselves get enrolled. So they find it very interesting and so important for them to wade through this journey. So IPE will further take active part in organizing UHV programs with network institutions in days to come. So what IPE is doing is they are creating MOUs with institutions in the rural areas in Telangana. So Dr. Murthy is thinking in the next step, what we'll do is, because they have faculty development programs they do for them. So we will have this also as a component so that we are sharing it with many more people. That is his plan. So that's all for from my side, Didi and Sunil Bhai.
Very nice, Geeta ji. I think, it's quite interesting that what happened here?
The presentation is withdrawn and you are
Should I put
No,
Didi?
Didi.
No, that's okay. So, couple of things that I wanted to mention.
Yes.
One is I thought that it's very interesting that an institution which has management as the focus is putting forth human values, which is not seen very often. I think that's a nice, refreshing thing. At least I felt that because the aims of management or the goals that are put forward generally are something little bit different. So I thought it was quite a vision for the director, sir, to see that, people and the nature and other things also come into the picture rather than just the profit part. So that was very interesting. And I think, of course, there also there is a need, like you mentioned, people, who are taking up these students in the job field. Ultimately, you do want people in your workforce to have the values and the ethics. So that can be a driving force. But even so, for institution head to have that vision and to use the time effectively, like what you mentioned, 3:30 to whatever, 4:30 or 4:45, 4:45. When the students are free to use that time and put them, direct them in a place where it can be useful for them. Rather than if they are left just free, they may not utilize that time so well. So I thought that was very interesting because many institutions we hear about how there is not enough time uh, to put forward these courses. But it's interesting that, if you are really committed or interested, then you can make time. So I thought those were very strong points. Of the work that is done in your institution, you mentioned, several things have been done, workshops and so on. The interesting part again was that voluntarily students are coming forward and they are taking or wanting to take part. They are talking to you. Those are all very big pluses, and it's a good thing that you shared that in your presentation because that is important. It reflects on how the students are ready for this. And so there is a need, and the students are also seeing this need. So they are coming forward. So I think those were all very good pluses that we can highlight. Perhaps you could have some pictures so that it makes the presentation more lively. maybe of the workshop if you have, or those kind of
Yes.
things. Perhaps if you could have maybe just a brief 1 or 2 minute video of maybe people, the students or the
Yes.
faculty, they're sharing regarding this whole effort
I will do.
and what they think they got out of it. That will again be, in their living, if it is making a difference. And also it may be very early to see changes in the students, but if there's anything that you have noticed as an institution, then we must keep it forward in such a forum. Those are some of the things I was thinking. And a little bit about, in your video, one is if you can have a plain background. I know I'm saying this even though my own background is not there, but for the actual conference thing,
Yes.
a plain background. And maybe like your face, only the face up till here is visible. So maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I should sit
adjust.
on a table and
Yeah,
chair.
yeah. But those are small things, but I thought I'll just mention it. But very nicely done. Thank you.
Didi,
That's all from
actually
my side. Yeah.
the girls who came for the UHV who come to me, it's very interesting. Didi. They are thinking about relationships,
Yes.
how to when and because in their families, their sisters and brothers, they're all married and they are struggling. So it's so interesting. I write down all those things because you remember, oh, there were so many questions like at this age, I used to struggle, and they're such young girls and they talk about it. So it's so interesting to tell them that this is how you can look at it, and it's so beautiful to interact with them.
Yeah. So do share that in your PPTs. Whatever the students are willing to talk about,
Talk.
that we can do.
Yes.
Others, anonymously, we can put a couple of
Yes.
lines about what all their sharings are about. That
Yeah.
they are having these concerns in relationship, they are having all these issues at home. Maybe some of them may have, parental concerns and so many other things.
Yes.
So do share that. That will
Yes,
be
I will do.
useful.
They had exams for 2 weeks, therefore I couldn't do. Now I will do it this week and I will put it in.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, Sunilji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Shamla Didi, for the comments. Thank you, Geeta Didi, for the sharing. Didi, are you also conducting the follow-up meetings for the faculty members in the institution after the workshop?
No, yeah, follow up with the faculty, I'm not doing. Actually, this I've started with the students, my mentees and all these people, but that also I have to do. Sir has allotted the time 3:45 to 4:45. He said, you do these activities. So we started doing it. The students came in July. So August, little of September we did. We had around, after I spoke to you, Bhaiya, what I should do with the students want to come. So you said you start sharing with them this content. You said, no, Bhaiya. So from there, I started doing it. So maybe 5-6 classes I have done. Then they had exams. And then, so now maybe the faculty also will meet and then this also will do. We'll organize, Bhaiya.
Yeah, this also is good. If
35 faculty members are there.
And the office staff are also there. So they also participate in the workshop. So if they can, sometime, at least once in 2 weeks, you can come together and discuss the changes in your life. And you can depict that also in the presentation. This also will help other institutions to see that this is also possible.
Yeah, that's a very important point that Sunilji just brought up. Because when you have that effort of a workshop, the effect is going to die down unless you follow it up on a weekly or bi-weekly basis at least, so that the momentum stays up a little bit. So do take care of that and do share that also.
Yes.
Conference.
Definitely.
I can see the ambience there. So the director is so inclined to the proposal that he attended almost all the sessions, like more than 80% sessions he could attend during that time also. And
no
he's very
wonder
much for
he's
that.
having this commitment, very strong commitment. Nice.
Nice. Anybody else have any questions to Geeta Didi.
Thank you.
Regarding the institution sharing. Any comments? Anything? If not, then let us thank Geeta Didi once again for the sharing.
Thank you very much.
Continue the good work with the students as well as faculty, and be a model management institution. That's very important, as Shamla Didi said. So many of them don't come forward just like this. Particularly when I remember when we discussed the content on the first day, a lot of discussion were there on physical facility. Being a management school, this was expected, and it was a very nice discussion. The expectation from UHV that when we discussed regarding that, a lot of people shared this, that physical facility, but it's very good. It went on in a very nice direction finally. Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Geeta.
Thank you, Didi.
So, Shamla Didi, shall we go to the individual sharings now?
Yes, yes. Please.
So, we start with Amresh Patil Bhaiya. Amresh Patil Bhaiya, namaste. He is there. So, he is a professor in civil engineering from the PDA College of Engineering, Gulbarga, Kalaburgi in Karnataka. Amresh Bhaiya, are you able to listen to us? You are still muted.
Perhaps we
he is writing in text, but he has not yet unmuted himself.
Yeah.
Amresh Bhaiya is writing in chat that yes, it is for Amresh Bhaiya, you have to unmute yourself and start your video for your sharing.
If I now, Amresh Bhaiya.
Why is he not able to unmute?
I'm giving this message, ask to unmute also to Bhaiya. Then, not able to do. Then, Bhaiya, can you rejoin? You can try that.
He left, he will join me.
He may be joining back.
You have Yashwant Bhaiya sharing also?
No, Didi. Today in this room we have 3 sharing. One is Amresh Patil Bhaiya, second is Sophie Dinesh Didi, and third is Girima Joshi Didi.
So
Yeah,
Bhaiya's
welcome.
video is started and Bhaiya's.
Yeah, namaste, namaste, Sadhiki.
Namaste.
I was not able to unmute myself, so I just logged out and logged in once again.
Okay, Bhaiya, OT for the sharing. So, Amresh Bhaiya, as we all know, very active volunteer of SWR. He is from Karnataka, from the PDA College of Engineering, Kalaburgi, Karnataka. He is also the regional coordinator of the Southwestern region, ACT. Bhaiya, OT for the personal sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sunil Bhaiya and Sharmila Devi and Dr. Sophia Dinesh and whoever are there joined in this discussion. Myself, Amresh Patil, as Bhaiya has already told about. My journey with UHV started from 2021 April when I been to a 5 days online FDP. That was the day when I was able to see few of the proposals which are helping me, because the one immediately the first proposal that I holded myself was that the work it need to be done within. So that was the first proposal. Then I thought this is one which is helping me. So I kept on this understanding part of the content by attending subsequently the follow-up mails that we used to come from AICT, that what really could go in this part. So with that, I went on to understand the UHV2, UHV3, and weekly meetings were also helping me. I was there connected to the content, trying to understand the content in a better way. Every time, whenever I used to join, I used to get some more clarity with the content. So that was there. And the moment I was getting into such proposals, which I thought it to be on a priority, I just started to take it to the family members first. I thought I should do it at my family. So wherever is a group of people joining, I used to share this. And I don't know, but might be it was my excitement only towards the content. But gradually, when I started the journey with understanding the morning sessions, so I started from 5th batch onwards. So right now it's 11th batch is going, and every time, whenever I used to share the feedback after completion of sessions, at the end, the sharing part, I used to tell that, okay, I'm able to understand. I am able to understand. But in the recent days, when Rajul sir and Kumar Bhaiya came to the campus for an LDP program, I was trying to hold myself, and now understanding those words which I used to speak about and which I used to share with the students, that got into my more understanding part. Then I started exploring what really is this exploration. Exploration was just earlier were with the words most of the time, and I was not able to connect myself. So then in the recent days, I am able to see that what is that exploration mean? Asking question within is what is more critical in all this aspect of living. So this journey has now, I am able to see the journey now of the living part. And this, the clarity of the entire content of what I heard in the first FDP is becoming better and better. It is not I'm totally complete yet, but still I have most of the things clarified with what really is it says. What are the meaning of those words that I had been brought up, or what I heard about in those 5 days. Now, if I am trying to look with what I was and what I am, there is a lot of bit of journey that I had done in this understanding part. Most of the time, all the efforts that I used to put was because there was a lot of expectation from the family, because I was the head of, I'm the elder son of the family. We were 6 members, 2 sisters and 4 brothers, and a lot of expectations that he is the best. So that a family member telling I am the best had always made me to be in critical state. I was not having palpitation without, trying to fulfill that expectations of others, and that was always a stress in me, and I was not able to understand how to go about, because there are a lot of expectations with everyone. I'm not able to, and there was a lot of questions within. And now this content, I have that clarity. Now the what is there is, even now I am able to see that doing part and getting part is always there, but I am always trying to see the being part. So that is the priority now. If I am able to be, then I am able to see that I can do better. I can think different ways of getting that fulfillment part of all the family members, or the units around which I try to deal. So this is helping me now in the recent days. So otherwise there used to be a lot of struggle, and so much of thing is there with this content of relationship, because until unless I am able to see that I am related to everyone, this is always going to be the bigger task. Because I only try to assume something and try to make it to happen. That would not happen, because it is the participation of the other also, because the other is also trying to fulfill on the same lines. Now this clarity is there with me. Now I only try to understand and try to make a program wherein I am happy, and also trying to work and make a program so that the other is also made comfortable, because we need to, I am able to see that mutual happiness is what is helping me. And with whenever I get involved with works, I am able to see what I can do at that moment. And now I am there heading a post of a construction of a society where it is 50 odd institutions. I am not that pressurized. Earlier, I had the same post which I left last 2 years back. Now, management insisted me to hold this post. Now, with this, I always participate. What I can do at that moment, what I am looking at the purpose, not trying to only try to get the feelings from the others or get the benefit out of what really could be the outcome. I'm not that worried. I always wait for that. The expectation is there, but now I try to look at the purpose, why I'm doing that. I slip, I get to some of the disharmony now and then, but that time and interval of my disharmony is very less, because I will call my natural acceptance what I want to be, and then I align my thinking in those lines, which is helping me in the living part. This is what I am able to see. With the family members, I am able to see that my competency is also not that, because every time whenever small things are there with a discussion, there are expectations from them, and I try to get into opposition now and then, but that opposition is already been felt by the spouse, and she gets into the discussion. All that last 2.5, 3 years of your being connected with UHV is not helping. So I just get into that mode and ask her, it's okay. She will tell straight away that you're lying. You're not telling the truth. What is there in the feeling part? And this is now I'm not getting opposed in that. Now what I will do is I will try to understand. Okay, this is what is there. But even if I'm telling the truth, we may be more in opposition. So this is a new program that I am trying to look in now, where I can complement myself being with the other and trying to help the journey. This is what is helping me, and this is the one what I am able to see that this should go to all my students. So I try to take this content in a better feeling part. Otherwise, I used to state things, and most of the time I used to do that. But now this stating is reduced a bit, because now I'm able to see that the feeling is one which is holding to participate, because it is going to be a natural outcome that what is there in me I can always share with the other. So this is all there for my side. I think I can respond for some specific questions if there are any. Otherwise, I think I was just not clear about this. Just Garima Didi just taught me about that I need to share. So I was trying to write even those basic questions, what was being shared to me earlier by Soumya Didi. I was trying to prepare that. I didn't share with anybody that what I was and what I heard about and how to go about. All this is there with me. I can share later.
Yeah, Amreshji, it was a nice effort. Few things that I thought are important. We have to remember who we are sharing to.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So if you are sharing to a group like this, like how we are here, we are all from the same group, the UHV people or whatever you want to call it. We are all familiar with the UHV content. So we can relate to what you're saying, right? But if you look at who is going to be listening for the conference, they will be mostly outsiders, or many will be outsiders.
Definitely.
So we need to use some terms which they could follow. So when we use a lot of terms that are what we are familiar with in UHV, but which may be unfamiliar to them, they will lose that connect. So they won't be able to relate to what you're saying. So for example, I was just noticing when you say, the doing part, the getting part, the being part, they may not follow what you're talking about. Right?
Yes.
Similarly, looking at the purpose, not getting feeling from other, natural acceptance. Many terms are there which they will get lost in.
Yes.
You said what I want and what I am. In fact, it is what I want to be. If you say what I want, it could be any number of things and it changes the whole meaning.
Yeah.
Right? So I think many of these terms will have to be put in simple words,
Yeah.
which a person who is not exposed to this content would be able to connect to.
Yes.
So perhaps one way to do it is to try to jot down some things that you have tried to understand
Yes.
from this, and also mention how in your day-to-day life, how it has impacted you in terms of how you're feeling within. Like, are you more comfortable within? Is it that you were feeling more stressed earlier and now you're more comfortable? That is one part.
Yeah.
Then in your relationships, how has it impacted you? Are others able to see a significant change in you since you started this whole process? So those are important parameters that a person who is not connected to this content may be able to say, okay, yes, this seems to be working.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just that we say that we are trying to do this and I'm trying this effort, but they don't see what is actually going on.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you were able to mention this to your daughters. And I think they're open somewhat to this content.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So that is an important thing to share, because you can also mention how things were before. Or, if things were good even before, then you can mention that also.
Yeah, that's it.
But at the same time, you can mention this, that, since you said, you briefly mentioned that you took it to the family also.
Yeah.
But what was the result of that? How has it impacted them? Perhaps you could talk to your daughters also and see whether they feel it has helped in any way.
Yeah.
And note that down and put it in your sharing.
Fine.
Right?
Yeah.
And in fact, if your daughter or anybody, in the family, say, if your daughter could, say something
Yeah.
about her own experience after you shared this content, what were her thoughts?
Yes.
For a youngster to be impacted by something like this, since we are going to bring it, we're talking about, taking it into education and all of these things. So if you look at people out there, they tend to be very skeptical about the young minds.
Fine.
That they're not ready, they don't want to listen, this is something for when you grow older, more experienced, blah, blah, blah. We have our own mindsets about such things. So if a youngster is able to say this, you are sharing, and in fact, it was not really being shared to the youngster as is, but you felt the need, or you felt it was worthy of sharing with the family. You shared it with the family.
Fine.
And somebody in the family felt that it is making a difference.
Yes.
Then we must talk about it. We must celebrate that and bring it out in the open, because that has a great impact on people who are listening.
Fine.
That this has mattered. So I think if you can bring all those things in your sharing, that will make a lot of difference.
Okay. Fine.
But otherwise,
Fine.
good effort.
Yeah.
That's what I had to share. Sunilji, you have something to add?
No, there is nothing special. So one thing which I can see with Dr. Amrish Patil Bhaiya is that he has been persevering for his own development. That is very evident.
Yes.
So the commitment from Bhaiya's part, one thing which I could notice is that regarding his body weight. He himself has shared that he has reduced the body weight following health routine. So this is not one. This was not there in the sharing. That's why I just mentioned this. Many other things which I could see that when I went to the institution also I could see the changes in Bhaiya, and he is also trying to bring these changes in his institution. These are very evident for me. So I can I can be a testimony for that. That's why.
Yeah, I am very much aware of that. Rajuji has also been to the institution and I have heard all this.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying that it's not coming across as well in the sharing as it should.
Yes.
So I think, if you make little effort on the sharing part, because all that is there, but we are not really talking enough about it. We should celebrate it, is what I was saying. So do make that effort. I think it will make the presentation also more lively and more noticed, I would say.
Yes. In the next rehearsal, I think it will be better. Yeah, because I was just told, I was not knowing what really.
Oh, okay.
Just Ganipati put me a message that you need to be in room number 4 and share your.
Oh no, that's very bad.
Then I said, okay, I was not even knowing. It's not an issue. It is all there for all of us to participate. That's what it is.
Okay, so maybe next time you can just work on it, and if there are any things, if you need any help or suggestions or something, we are all there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amresh Bhaiya, for that sharing. Now, anybody would like to ask any question or sharing, or rather some comments regarding Bhaiya sharing? I think there is no question or comments. So Bhaiya, thank you once again. We move over to the sharing of Sophie Didi. Didi, welcome. Namaste.
Namaste to all present here. Myself, Sophie Dinesh, and I'm currently teaching at IPE Business School, Bangalore. So I'm going to share here my experience of UHV, and I have given it a title like From Bondage to Independence, My Journey Through the UHV Proposal. And I'm going to focus on, there were many proposals in UHV, and I will focus on one proposal which has helped me in my journey so far, and it is still helping. So when I first got introduced to the concepts of UHV proposal in September 2023, I felt that they were just another proposal often taught in moral education classes in schools. So I never felt the gravity of each proposal until I attended the UHV 2, which was in-person workshop in Mysore in January 2024. So the first session was online, and I felt it was another moral education class for maybe adults. Then the gravity of the proposal starts sinking in only in January 2024 after the offline workshop, the face-to-face workshop. So their meeting with Umesh Bhaiya was a turning point. And I think he is a walking example of living the proposal. Yeah. So I try to become like him every day, but I fail also. So each proposal was a subject in for deep study. And every day when Umesh Bhaiya came to the class and he opened up one proposal, it was just like opening the petals of a lotus. Everything was so deep, so profound. It had such a deep meaning. And then after this offline workshop in January 2024, I started putting them into practice. In the class itself, I was a bundle of mess actually, where I had a lot of complaints about my students, my colleagues, my family members, and I was putting it across to Umesh Bhaiya, and he was there with his warm, serene smile, and as if his smile was telling me, you will learn it slowly. And actually, I learned it. I'm still learning it slowly. So I started putting the proposals into practice after this workshop in January 2024 at two facets. That is, first at my workplace and second at home. So at my workplace, the first major transformation that I felt was with the kind of interaction I developed with my students. So I teach at the PG level, I teach to MBA students, and MBA students as such, they're all very materially oriented because they want to get jobs, they want to secure all the comforts in life as soon as they pass out of college. That is not an issue. The issue was the in-class interactions. Because I was dealing with Gen Z and who were hooked onto their gadgets, and they could not do away with their gadgets even in the class. So even after repeatedly telling them not to hook onto their gadgets in the class, some people, some students would definitely be not following these instructions. And that created a thought in me that maybe my teaching is not effective and I'm not able to become a good teacher. And my desire to become a very good teacher was falling into pieces, falling apart. And my expectation from the student that they will listen to me, they will be attentive in the class, they will focus on what I am delivering was also falling apart. So this was the first proposal. That is, my thoughts, my behavior, my imagination was guided by the desired thoughts and expectations. And my desired thought and expectations was always directed outside, not inside. Outside means towards the students. I wanted them to behave in a particular manner based in alignment with my desired thoughts and expectations. And this was creating a lot of disharmony in me. Disharmony means I was stressed out and I was not feeling like concentrating on putting in more efforts to bring something very good to the class. And I was losing interest in the teaching part itself. And I was doing my teaching as a mechanical job where I had to go lecture and come back. And I was not even taking a look at how the students were responding or reacting, because that was creating a disharmony in me. Then the concept of UHV, that relationship is always there. It is not going to be, it is not going to change. It's a universal fact that the relationship that I have, we are related to everybody, everyone, every unit in the existence. And that is not going to change. That relationship is, that's a fact. So I started exploring, yes, the relationship with my students is there. It is not going to change. It's a fact. So what is it that I'm doing and wrong, which is creating this disharmony in me? Then I realized that another very important terminology called natural acceptance. So this natural acceptance is what is about feeling of is about getting a feeling of harmony within ourselves when we look at our desired thoughts and expectations. So when I started re-evaluating my desires, my thought, and my expectation from students, I felt that it was all directed outside. That is, I was expecting everything from the students, which was not in my control. So what I had in my control was to redirect my desired thought and expectations in such a way that it creates a sense of relationship within myself, and I remain in harmony within myself. So I changed my teaching strategy. I started becoming more, started expecting less from them, and I focused on delivering more content in such a manner that the students remain engaged. I understood that the attention span of the students is only 45 minutes. And in a class of 90 minutes, if I start focusing on delivering lectures throughout, it is not possible for that. It is futile to expect the students to focus, to give their complete focus for 90 minutes. So I shortened my lecture delivering activity to half an hour, 30 minutes. And after that, the rest of the 30 minutes, I focused on involving them in sort of activities that because they were anyway hooked to their gadgets. So I created activities in a way that they had to take the help of their gadgets, not for chatting and whatever they were doing, but for getting involved in this activity. So that created a very big shift in the students' attitude, and they understood that, okay, for 30 minutes we have to listen. So they were fully geared up for listening in those 30 minutes, and the rest of the 30 minutes they were involved in class activities. The class became more lively, and I became my desire to be a good educator was getting fulfilled, and I was in harmony within myself, and I was happy. I was feeling happy about it. So this is how the one proposal, that is imagination based on desires, thoughts, and expectations, helped me. And this is a proposal that I have explored actually in depth, because expectations is something that creates disharmony. Similar is the case with my family members. I had expectations which were directed outside to my spouse and my kids. I expected them to behave in a particular manner, which was not fulfilled to a large extent, and it was creating a lot of disharmony in me. Then I started basing my imagination. I started directing that expectations within myself. That is, what should I do to change my behavior, or what is that I am doing wrong, which is making them behave in this manner? Because relationship it is always there. Okay, so there is no change. So even we should always be in that feeling of relationship. We should not be getting into a feeling of opposition with the other person we are interacting with, whether it is family members or colleagues. So in order to avoid getting into that feeling of opposition, we have to develop this feeling of trust, respect, love, harmony within ourselves, basing our thoughts, desires, and expectations on the feelings of love, trust, relationship, and check every minute whether my thought is leading to harmony or disharmony within, not outside, within. So when we find that our desires, thoughts, and expectations are based on natural acceptance, which is actually fulfilling the relationship, then we find that we are in harmony. And the behavior of others will not matter much, or will not impact our thoughts, desires, and expectations to a great extent if we live in this feeling of harmony within. I know it is very difficult to practice, but slowly, when we put these things into practice, we discover a new facet every time. And when we change, others also change. This is what I have experienced, that when there is a shift in our expectation, there is a shift from the other person also. Because the relationship is always there. It is never, we are all related to each other. So it is better that we base our expectations on natural acceptance of it, love and harmony, and not on opposition. And this is how I'm evolving, and I'm still evolving and experimenting with this proposal of UHV. And I hope I will be able to tell this to a large number of people in future also. So thank you. This is from my part.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie ji, for your sharing. The nice thing was that you talked about practically what you were able to see in your living at the workplace with your students. Largely, you talked about the students and how things were earlier with the students and how they changed. That was nice. Few things that I felt for our own clarity, what we need to be clear about. Like earlier, what you mentioned in the beginning part, right? A couple of things that we have to remember: where we are sharing, for whom we are sharing, right? So try and go with not taking names, one thing, right? So that we can be talking about that which is universal rather than one human being or one person. So nothing against the people, but just that if we talk about the proposal, then it is something universal that, it can be multiplied. But when it comes to individuals, then it seems like something specific to a particular place or whatever. So it's better we don't get into that. So best to not take any names, but to go with the proposal and talk of what you could get from the proposal and how you were able to bring it in your living, right? Which you did, but what I'm saying is names can be excluded from that. Similarly, when we talk of, the natural acceptance, so you mentioned that something about redirecting your desires, thoughts, expectations towards the natural acceptance or something like that. I think it would be just very simple if we say that what is termed the natural acceptance, which is really our inner voice, coming from a pure part within us or the higher part within us or something as simple as that, so that the others can understand what we are talking about. Otherwise, they may not be able to get all this desire, thought, expectation, and all of those things. Because remember, these are not generic terms that are used in a day-to-day basis. Or at least not in the way that we are using them. So that was one thing. For our own clarity, when you say redirecting the expectations inside, so you mentioned that I had expectations relating to the outside, but really expectation is not a problem. We do have expectations, and the expectations are about the outside. What needs to happen is when our desire, particularly the feeling associated with the desire, when we start evaluating that with our reference point of the natural acceptance. So when we start looking within and finding that, this feeling that I'm having right now is painful for me, it is creating a problem for me, and that I am at liberty to change this feeling, bring it in line with my higher self, or bring it in line with my pure, the innate part of me. Then I noticed that I was comfortable. So put it in simple words so that people can follow that, okay, this is what you understood from it. And so then you can relate to that incident that, with this, when I went back to class, I thought that, children are not able to have this much life, this much attention they're not able to give me for this long. So what can I do to help them? So you say, now you can see that when you became comfortable, when you were at ease within, then you could find a creative way to help them out. Whereas earlier, you thought they were an issue and they were a problem and you were a mess and all of that which you mentioned. So then the other person is also able to see what how your journey went in very simple words. So those were some of the things I was thinking, but that was a very good example how you brought it in your teaching practice. And, one thing that you could share with that is, did it help the students to learn? Were you able to see that it made a difference? They got more interested in class and they were actually able to do better in their tests or whatever. If that is the case, then we must share that. because ultimately people want to know, did it succeed? You changed your outlook. Did it make a difference? So if it did, then we must share it. Yeah, these were some of the pointers that I was thinking. But nice effort. Maybe you can, modify your write-up a little bit so that it can reflect some of these changes. That will be helpful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And I got more clarity when you told feelings should be related to the higher consciousness. Natural acceptance is something which I was also getting stuck with. Yeah. But with your input, it has become more clear. Thank you so much.
Sunilji, you would like to put something?
No, Didi. Most of the comments were you delivered those comments. Nice.
Okay, nice.
I can see that within 1 year time. So she has been into this UHP only for 1 year. That's what I learned from her.
Yes.
Yeah. Within that time, the change is very much appreciated, and that is a takeaway for every one of us.
True.
One more thing, at the institution level, I am not able to bring in much change because the head of the institutions, they are not very much aligned with this concept, which I have talked to them, but they are not very interested in bringing it to the institution. So there I don't know. But at my individual level, with people I meet, I try to put them into this concept. I try to put it into practice and bring them. So there are many instances, my old school friends, college friends, into problems, and they come and talk, and I put these proposals. I don't put them as proposals the way we are taught, but yes, the essence I give it to them. So that is how it is.
Very nice. In fact, that is the whole journey. It will start with you. It will start showing in your behavior. People will start coming to you for help. And then it is being noticed. And then more and more people are interested. And then you can get together with others and go back to your management people and say, now look, so many people are interested. Let's do it. You can put this thing that about NEP 2020, what are the requirements for graduates? And this could be one way we could comply with that. And all of those things, when you put together, perhaps in the near future, you may have more success.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Thank you, Sophie Didi, for that sharing. And thank you, Shamla Didi, for the comments also. So the comments are helping for our individual sharing for every one of us. Now, Shamla Didi, we have a voice message from Sophie Didi. So shall I try to play that?
Yeah.
Let me try. Didi, are you able to listen to that?
No, Bhaiya.
No?
Not able to listen.
There is no voice, Bhaiya. Audio is not there.
No.
Now there is voice?
No. Not able to hear anything.
No. Oh. Okay. Now?
No. Are you able to hear, Sunilji?
Are you able to listen to the voice now?
No.
Not yet.
Not able to hear.
Okay.
Are you able to hear, Sunilji?
I can hear.
Oh.
I just share sound also. I have given that, and I'm trying to share. I can try another way.
Morning, everyone.
Now we got it.
Oh, it's audible, Bhaiya. But stopped.
Not able to hear. We are not able to hear.
Initial greetings was there, rest it stopped.
We just heard the good morning part.
Drawing on my
Yeah.
own life experiences, my spiritual beliefs, a strong faith in God, and positive outlook on life. Along this journey, I thought my happiest moments have come when I was able to help and guide others through difficult times. Besides, I have long sought to understand my purpose and the true meaning of life, with deep desire to be a good human being, viewing humanity as my primary faith. However, I had a little clarity about the true meaning of human or humanity. Along the way, I have often questioned myself, am I giving the right advice? Is this a right approach? There have been times when I pushed myself to the point where I was fully immersed in the situation, putting all the efforts I could. This led to moments of exhaustion, inconsistency in my efforts, and a need to step back. I developed a strong opposition to situations and people when things didn't go my way. I felt overwhelmed, lost the sense of purpose behind my efforts, and was overthinking, stressed, emotionally drained, and under constant pressure. Then I attended UHV face-to-face program in July 2023. Through this content, I got acquainted to the concept of natural acceptance as a guiding source within me, with with the process of self-exploration guided by exercises 1 and 2. I am able to validate the proposals in my living. I was also able to catch a glimpse of the feeling of harmony when my thoughts aligned with natural acceptance. This clarity helped me to better understand my role in various aspects of my life. For example, a sense of mutual complementarity in relationships. I could ensure the feeling of care, responsibility towards the children, and recognize my role in supporting elders. Now, the overthinking that once consumed me diminished. The fluctuation in my behavior became more balanced, and I found a new sense of calm and resolution within myself. This effort, first and foremost, helped my husband to be relaxed. How? Because, after all, who wants an irritating wife? Previously, communicating with my teenage daughter was a challenge. I used to impose my views and raise my voice to get her to do things. Now we openly discuss everything, from her low grades to her feelings about relationship. She affectionately calls me her chill mama. My students see a balance in my approach. One example is when one of my scholars was devastated by sudden loss of her father. I was able to support her through that difficult time. And with few sessions of discussion, she was capable of handling her emotions very well. The elders in my family noticed a sense of resilience in my interactions with them. Discussions with the peers have shifted from casual conversations to meaningful, focused exchange of clear objectives. So, this is what harmony within me, my family, and everyone I interact with feels like. I can see that by ensuring harmony within me, I can support others develop right understanding. No, I still face challenges. I can see a clear path forward. I now understand the true essence of guidance and have discovered my life's ultimate purpose, which is to realize the full human potential. My role as a guide is to inculcate right understanding within myself while supporting others to develop it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was very nice. It was short, but she's able to put across things. I think even though she is using those terms, but they are put forward in a simple way that is easy to understand, I think, for a lay person. So I thought it is effective, but maybe it can be a little more detailed. Perhaps we could tell her that. And I don't know if we are having multiple sharings or family sharings, but if her daughter could just, or if she could get the input about her daughter, like she did mention few words that her daughter now calls her chill mama or whatever. But I think that maybe little more, one or two more proposals if we could add. Right now it seemed a little short to me, but I don't know. What do you feel, Sunilji?
I also felt the same thing. She could have added more examples.
Yeah.
And she could have this evaluation of her before UHV and while following the proposals, and how this has helped her in her own life and also in the institution. There is participation outside, participation in the society and nature. So this could have been exemplified. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
You can take a bit more time. That's right. Yeah.
Huh?
She could have taken a bit more time.
She could have taken more time. I think today she's preoccupied with other things, so maybe that's why. But I guess we can convey it to her that she can elaborate a little and give more examples. That will be helpful. Yeah.
She can listen to this video anyway. The video is available on the YouTube, so she can.
Oh
listen
yes,
to that.
yes,
yeah.
that's
so
right.
We can the full comments she will be able to listen to later.
Yes.
Listen to the recording part.
Yeah. Good. Very nice.
So yeah. So the agenda part is over.
Yes.
For today.
Yes.
So any general comments from your side, or anybody else would like to comment? Anything? We have had 2 institutional sharing and 6 individual sharing in 2 sessions in the afternoon.
Yes. I think it's been a good effort, but now I'm ready to call it a day. It's been like going almost 12 hours. I'm also fasting today, so it's a little bit of a strain, but I think it was well worth it. I think a lot of good things came out of it, and such rehearsals are able to get us more focused on what we need to do or how we need to improve what we're putting across, bring it out more crisply. So I think it was a very good effort, and I think maybe a couple more sharings like that, or, in a focused way like that would be helpful. I would have been happier to see if all the institutions that were required to share were there. But I guess it didn't happen, but maybe later at some point. We have a third sharing in the middle of November, although that's close towards the end, but hopefully then we'll be able to have more complete sharings.
Yeah, that will be November 16th and 17th.
What's that?
November 16th and 17th.
Yeah, yeah. But even so, having said that, I think this whole setup, the tech part, all these different rooms, everybody connecting, sharing their screen on this platform, putting on videos, all this we are not used to. One thing that I wanted to mention, which we have been mentioning in our group for the health part, is that we are tuned to using the terms Ji and Didi, Bhaiya, but in a public forum like that, it may be more professional to address ourselves with the title, whatever, Dr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, whatever. And avoid the terms, Didi, Bhaiya and Ji and those things. I think it will be taken in a more professional light, a more serious manner. So I think we can try to do that. Although it's a good thing what we are doing in our sessions and all of that. But in this forum, we may have to remind ourselves to be aware to put forward things as addressing the person with their name. That's what I was thinking.
Nice, Didi. So we followed that in the panel discussions, but here in the personal sharing, we just felt like
I think because we all were more comfortable and but in terms of the actual when we share, perhaps we need to
we have to be a bit careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Didi.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining. Yeah.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone for joining in this session. So we
very fruitful.
Namaste.
Yeah. Thank you.
We can close.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Namaste.
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 Mr.